I know y'all gonna be like, why is he hitting the hype button so early? It's because this is the mogul edition right here. This is the man that has gotten over $1 billion in revenue. Not million. You heard the billion. You better tune in. There's a lot of folks in Atlanta saying they're doing business. They're doing business. They're doing a lot of things, but I've been in a whole lot of rooms, and y'all know I've been around a lot of people, but a name keeps coming up. Hank Stewart is that name, and this is the man in the building. What's up, my guy?
What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Listen, I'm just putting my watch away. He's over there dancing. This is obviously one of the people that we are very familiar with. This guy right here has been doing some amazing things inside the business world. Met him inside, I guess I want to say the insurance realm, but when I did a little more research, I saw that you are actually helping people live out their dreams. You got a lot of people that they say they don't smile until 3 p.m. in the middle of the day. They wake up, they get up, they go to work, they smile at 3 p.m. That is the first time they smile. That's the average American, right? And you are helping people wake up cheesing. Teeth about to fall out their face because you are showing them a better way to be lucrative inside of the spaces that they're in, or finding a different way to become successful, have more family time, travel. I see you on private jets. I see you doing this man is on a beach, walking down some beach in some foreign island, telling people how to stay motivated and make money. And I said, man, this is the life we all want to live. Ankles out, helping folks win, man. Let me hit this hype bell one more time. We got Hank Stewart in the building. We are going to talk about him, his success. We're also going to get you motivated in the process, and then see how you can get Hank to a city near you. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, cool. I'm gonna be quiet. It's your turn to talk. No, I'm just kidding.
I appreciate you commending my courage and showing my ankles too, man.
There you go.
Move on my part.
It was. But I love it, man. It's just seeing you give those spills and talk to people about trying to be successful, reach limits that they never thought that they could, especially in the realms of a lot of places you've had success at. It's really motivating to see, because people don't always share their secret sauce. So what made you want to do that, be that guy? Because you could have easily taken your success, just help the people on your team and been happy with that. You know what I mean? But you spreading the billions.
Well, I'm trying to become the guy I was looking for.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure things out.
Okay.
Because it ain't always been like this.
Right. And you're very transparent when you tell your story too. So we appreciate that too. But keep going.
Yeah, no, man. I just, in this industry, in this world, people like to promote success, and I'm the bomb, and I'm this and I'm that. And, anybody who's having success, I'm happy for them. But there's a lot of people like me and like you. I know that we come from humble beginnings and just trying to figure this thing out. Right. So for me, as you know my story a little bit, I came up on the east side of Buffalo. If anybody knows about Buffalo, that's not the good side.
It's not. It's not the place with the wings.
No, got to go up north.
Right.
To the anchor bar for the wing places. But my family was there, and we loved one another, and the community loved one another. And I'm not going to try to make it seem like I was, grew up in an episode of Good Times, but at the same time, we were a couple blocks over.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so when you're in that space and you are out in the community, maybe you're, riding in our 9-seat station wagon that we were in, facing the back, playing That's My Car, and you're looking at people, Mercedes Benz, whatever. And you're like, well, how do I do that? How do I get out of this situation and find another situation? And college, of course, is an option, but college prepares you for a job. Yeah. Nobody was really preparing us for ownership of the business that provides the job. Right. So because I didn't have that, I'm just trying to create those avenues for anybody that has an entrepreneurial spirit and they're looking for either the methodology or the vehicle. Yeah. I'm trying to provide that.
So you are actually becoming the college. You're becoming the stepping stone for that person to get, like you said, you're the guy that you were looking for and couldn't find. Now, I know one motivating factor, and like you said, people that want to go to college usually want to start a career. There's nothing wrong with that. But you had motivation early on. Like your dad, your pops was that guy. He was out there selling and being a salesperson and then teaching you the game at the same time. And then you become an 11-year-old salesperson. Let's talk about that. I can imagine 11-year-old Henry coming in and selling me insurance.
I knew a pair of glasses and a suit. I was easily 13 when you saw me. No,
easily.
No, but basically, I really appreciate both of my parents because education was always important. So they required us to have, good school grades. Spiritual education was always important. So my foundation definitely is Bible based.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my things that I teach, even if you pay attention, there's a lot of biblical principles included there too. I don't like people to pimp religion, you know, and that's not something that I do either, but I can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Because it's just
part of you. It's really part of you. Yeah.
It's really a part of me, man. So when I was coming up as this 11-year-old salesperson, my dad has always been an entrepreneur, and he always taught us, try to have your own business, even when he was working 9-to-5 jobs. And he always taught us that there were ceilings, there were limitations that were there. Jobs are good, provide stability, but there's a lot of politics and different things involved. So he planted that seed in all of us. It was 7 of us growing up, 7 brothers and sisters. He planted that seed in all of us to try to do something on our own. So growing up, he taught me a lot about life and sales through a particular business, which was selling Rainbow cleaning systems.
Gotcha.
And the Rainbow, you know, I still loyal to the Rainbow. So if somebody has a Kirby,
we leave. We got
a problem. We got an issue. Kirby, Electrolux, any of them. I shouldn't even say the name. I'm getting free press right now. Rex Airs and Rainbows. That's all we want to talk about. But the Rainbow cleaning system, I'll give you a little backstory on it because my sister had severe allergies, and so it was a water filtration cleaning system, and we don't even refer to it as a vacuum cleaner.
Right.
In the Rainbow community, it's a cleaning system.
It's a cleaning system. It's much more.
It's much more. So much more. And even that comes from my dad. Like, son, people aren't going to buy $1,000 vacuum cleaner.
Right.
They will buy $1,000 cleaning system.
That makes sense. I feel like somebody's going to come with it and do all the work. Then
it's almost just like a sanitation engineer. So anyway, but through that business, my dad taught me a lot because sales is people. And, you know, a lot of times people think there's this big separation between the living room and the boardroom, and it's not. Once you know people, you know how to sell.
There you go.
So you learn that the dynamics of people. And I learned an influencer and power dynamics and things of that nature, and really how to close a sale.
Yeah.
How do you go into a community where a middle income family and convince them, put away that $89 vacuum cleaner and invest in your family through this cleaning system. And that platform was the foundation for everything from there. From there, it was like, okay, how can I make these parallels? And I've closed multi-million-dollar deals off of the same principles that I learned as an 11-year-old boy, going door to door, trying to convince somebody to trust me enough to let them in the house.
I love that. Let me hit the hype bell for that. The suits change, but the principles remain the same because it's all about people. I mean, I hear you talk about that too.
Oh yeah, and it's I think that's so important too, because nowadays people are intimidated by people, and they shouldn't be. You know, we're all the same. Yeah, we have a lot more culturally, you know, nationally. There's a lot more similarities among people than there are differences, and people tend to exploit differences nowadays. Yeah, and it's really unnecessary, man. If you look at the commonality, we're all in the same game. You know, we're here for a limited period of time. At some point, there's a funeral waiting on all of us, and what can you do between that birth date and that last day on the headstone? Yeah, everybody loves their family. Everybody's trying to create a better situation. They're just looking for the means. And so I'm trying to bridge that gap. Yeah, I'm trying to let people know, look, man, you got things that you want to do. You don't have to give up on your dreams, but you need a way to get there. And I try to provide that pathway.
You really do. And like I said, we kind of look and follow you online. We see a lot of the videos that you post. They look great, but it's not just a look, it's a message behind it. I seen you speaking to one young lady and she's like, well, how, I'm deeply religious. I'm deeply into what I believe in, but I also want to provide for my family. How do I find that balance? And you gave her some great advice in that space too, when you don't really hear that all the time. A lot of times you hear these gurus and they're like, no, it's no sleep. It's not this. It's not that. You're like, no, you can find a balance between your life. And I'm guessing you're able to do the same thing, because I hear you talk about family a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not easy. There will be sacrifice. Anytime you want to have something that, to have the things that others don't, you got to do the things that others won't. That's just the way that it is. So, yeah, sacrifice. But you got to sacrifice things that are less important. So, got to give up Sports Center to have that conversation with your son. Right. You might have to give up going out drinking or whatever with the fellas in order to spend some more time with your wife. Even within that, though, there's still going to be some sacrifice. But within that sacrifice, there's a lesson, because you're teaching your family this legacy. If you want to be successful, the things you see your dad do, the things you see your mom do, these are things you have to kind of inculcate in your own life as well. Yeah. So, balance is a weird word. People talk about work-life balance, and I'm not sure if that's the right terminology.
Talk to me. I feel like we're going to get another t-shirt saying right now. We just got one a second ago. You know what I mean? So give me another one.
It's dangerous. I hear people talk about work-life balance, and sometimes that's an excuse wrapped in a reason, right?
Okay.
So it's like, well, I can't be successful because there's no way I can balance my work and my life. So I'm either going to be a great father and we're all going to be poor, or I'm going to be rich and my family's going to be terrible, and there's just no way to find that balance. And more of it's a continuity there. So, for example, if you're a good provider, at work, or if you're a good provider at home, how do you do that? What's funding that? It's the things that you do at work. Well, if I'm at work, why would I be unhappy if this is the vehicle that's taking care of my family?
That makes so much sense.
So why do I feel, I gotta do less of this? No, I want to do more of that. I want to do more of that, because the more that I do, the more I'm able to provide for my family. At the same time, though, if I am providing for my family, I want to make sure that they have something as well. So I want to be able to pour back in. So I just saw, I think it was Elon Musk or somebody was talking about that circle, and that really resonated with me, because it's really connected. You don't have to love your family and hate your job, or hate your job and love your family. Find a symbiotic passion.
Symbiotic passion. I knew we was gonna get a saying. I love it, man. Right now on the radio side, if you're listening, we're Hank Stewart. We're talking about just some motivational things and successful keys and tips that you've been able to share with people over the years. What made you want to get into the actual space of motivating others? I know you were doing it as part of your job, right? It was part of your career. But what made you want to say, you know what, I'm going to take this to a different level? Was it part of that symbiotic situation?
Quality of content, so as an observer of the space, as you know, developing a successful insurance agency, and that's on the heels of a successful real estate investment company, and so on and so forth.
Right.
I have had to motivate myself. So I look at things that motivate me.
Okay.
As I took on partnerships, I look at ways that I can motivate others. So it's made me an observer of this space.
Gotcha.
So right now, without using names, there's a lot of people out here that are, providing great motivational content, and that's awesome. But what I found is that's kind of all it was. It's a rah-rah session.
Yeah.
So you walk away from the meeting, it's like, okay, I'm
hyped up, but I don't know what to do.
Still broke,
yeah.
but I feel good.
I feel good. Right.
So I just thought to myself, there's got to be a way to do both. So why can't we give more content? So I want you to feel good, but at the same time, when you get done feeling good, I want you to be able to do something with it, something quantifiable, something that you can actually change your life with.
Right.
So what I'm looking to do is either provide a vehicle, which for me, I believe in insurance. So I can either show a person how to use insurance to be successful, or if they already have their thing, whatever it is that they do, how can you take certain principles that I've learned over the years and apply them to what you do.
Gotcha.
To help that business be successful. Because you and I both know, man, I know people that for years have talked about what they're going to do. When I get some money, I'm going to do this. When I do this, I'm going to do that. You check back in on them every couple of years, nothing's moved. Why? They're paying for the books.
Yeah.
They're going to the classes. They got all the, they're watching all the shows. What's happening there? There's got to be a connection. At some point, there's got to be a connection between what's going on up here and then
something tangible.
Right. So that's kind of what the game plan has been for me. And from a content standpoint, when you look at some of these other things there, I look at the money that they charge for good advice.
Yeah.
Sitting down with me for $5,000.
Right.
Come to this mastermind session for $25,000. If the person had $25,000,
right,
they wouldn't be
needing a mastermind session. They would be moving on to the next business. But that's kind of what I see with the model with some of these gurus. Not when I say gurus, I'm putting up the air quotes for those that can't see it, is because they like, okay, pay for this course for $10,000. You're gonna learn these things, and then you're gonna go and be a successful business person, and then come back in 3 months to take my $15,000 course. And it's like, okay, the only person making money is you.
Exactly, and that's. Very clear hustle at that point. I get it. I just don't want to participate.
Right.
So the services I provide, they're not free. Okay. But at the same time, they're attainable.
Yeah.
So if a person really has a dream and a conviction, it's going to take some investment in yourself, but you won't have to take a second mortgage out on the house to try to access it.
I think that makes sense because once you put some type of investment, you're going to work toward it. So like, it's just like college. I paid my tuition. I'm going to show up to class. Now, if I don't show up to class and I fail out, then I didn't need to be there anyway. It was a waste of time. I'm not going to be at that second level of success. But for anybody wanting to be successful, you have to make some kind of investment. You're going to pay for it one way or another. It's going to be with time. It's going to be with aggravation because you didn't do it or you don't understand or you just need a little more help, or you're going to pay for it monetarily and then take some time out to actually listen and be active to the person trying to help you win, which would be you in this case we're talking about.
Well, I practice what I preach. So one of the things that I teach, one of the value systems that I teach is to value yourself and value your time. So I'd be a hypocrite to say value myself, value my time, and give all my time away for free.
Right.
But at the same time, another principle that I teach is to make sure you're providing fair value for your service. Fair exchange is no robbery.
Fair exchange is no robbery. That's the fourth quotable thing we've heard today. We're working on 10.
We're gonna get there, Reece.
That's it.
Said no, but it's but I really believe in that. My dad, again, back to my dad, fair exchange is no robbery. So, there's things that have taken me decades to learn, and there's things that I'm the benefactor of my father's decades of experience and his father before him, because my grandfather was very influential in my life. So those things have value, and I honor them by sharing those things. But what's cool for me, it was when somebody takes that body of understanding and they go off and do something creative with it.
Yeah.
And so I, whatever I've done, whatever I've accomplished, I'm proud of that. But I want people to get bigger than Hank Stewart, and the number one folks I like to get bigger is my sons. So I try to pour into them right now. I got a 24-year-old and a 17-year-old. And, I let them choose their own path. I don't want to over influence them, be an over involved helicopter dad. But if they do follow pops,
right.
I love that. And they're great kids, and they're on the way.
I mean, I like I said, I've known you for a while. I've been hearing about you talk to them. You light up when you talk about your family. You talk about your kids, wife, all that. Like, you light up, and I see that. And when you do that, that's motivational within itself, because it's like we don't see that all the time. It's not in main media all the time. So it's really great to see a father and a husband talk about his family like that, and wanting to see them win, even if it's outside of what you do. But I'm sure they're getting all those principles and using them on their own. I do it with my pops. I take all his stuff.
Oh, and use it, man. And use it. I see myself and my wife in my kids all the time. And I like it because it lets me know they're paying attention.
That's awesome.
I like it when they use my own techniques back on me as well. At least you're listening,
right.
And a big part of what I'm able to do is that foundation. Like, I light up about my family because my family is a big part of what I do. Like, even being here right now, I couldn't perform the way I perform. You talk about trying to work and things of that nature without my wife, and that's something that a lot of husbands and fathers can't say, to have the whole family supporting me in that way.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time to be successful. It takes a lot of time to work.
Yeah.
If you don't have somebody holding it down on the home front, all that money that you make, you're going to spend it in legal fees, between the kids doing something crazy or what have you. So she's very much a part of my success. She's actually here right now taking pictures of me over there.
That's it.
Hopefully she got my good side. She knows which one it is.
She definitely knows.
She knows a bad side too.
Well, and when just to older that, man, you like you said, you have these things that you put in place with your family. When I say put in place, I don't mean like you know what I mean? I just mean like you have certain principles that you work under. And it's motivating to see a lot. Like I said, it's not something that we always see. So that's absolutely dope. Now tell us about one of the things that we see across your website. I see you say it so many times, man, where you say no excuses, only results count.
Oh man, that's the key. If you want to be successful at anything, whatever you're trying to pursue, you have to have an NEORC attitude. That's actually a play on words. I'm from Buffalo, New York. So New York.
I like it.
But no excuses, only results count is the foundation of everything that I do. And it's just what is ingrained in us as children coming up, because excuses are so prevalent. Anytime somebody wants to do something, I've seen them, birth a dream and kill a dream in the same sentence, just with an excuse. I want to lose weight, but I want to make money, but I want to get married, but. And so excuses have become not only the norm for many people, they become acceptable, almost palatable to people. People create excuses for others. And I hate to see it done to children, because children are the number one people that need to understand, no, we can't be excuse oriented. We didn't come up that way. I know your dad.
No, absolutely not. No excuses.
No excuses. So you better figure it out.
Right.
So anytime you're approaching any type of situation, this is something I encourage people to do. Don't excuse it. If you want to be successful, there's a solution to every problem.
Okay.
It may not be immediately available to you, but there is a library, there is the internet, there are resources, there's mentorship. Whatever it is that you want to do, don't allow yourself to be stifled by an excuse, because at the end of the day, it's only the result that counts.
I like it. That was 3 of them. So now we up to 9. I love it. We up to 9 of them right there. jumping out here and traveling and motivating people, what do you prefer? Because I've seen you talk in front of huge group stadiums, and then I've seen you talk one-on-ones and then do those small intimate groups. Where it's kind of like your honey hole, it doesn't make a difference as long as you know that people are receptive.
Man, if I can get somebody to listen,
Gotcha.
It really doesn't matter to me. I enjoy the large groups because there's a lot of lives you can touch simultaneously. And I like to get that feedback from the crowd, get that,
Amen. That's their feel.
Okay, they can relate. They've been where I've been. But I also like the one-on-one sessions as well because everybody has their own individual unique story. So to be in a situation where they can say, this is my specific situation and we can talk specific solutions, that's rewarding as well. But my comfort zone, as long as I'm helping people, it could be one, it could be 100,000.
That's it. I got you. Do you find it I guess opening when you go to a company and they bring in Hank Stewart, they want him to come talk to all of our employees. Kind of what is your approach in those situations? Because usually they want to get more out of their employees.
Exactly. So really for me, the very first most important thing is to get to know the company itself. So what's the company culture? What are some of your strengths? What are some of their perceived weaknesses? What is the goal? Sometimes sometimes the goal is not even more sales. Sometimes it's they want to treat the whole person. So it's like, hey, the sales is good, but the morale is down. So I need to understand, what are you trying to accomplish? What am I here to do?
Yeah.
Once I know what I'm there to do, I like to also understand a little bit of the terminology of the company because I don't want the listener to have to translate. So whatever your language is that you use, whatever your sales language, whatever your corporate language is, I like to adopt some of that so they can hear the message in their own language. But from there, once I kind of know what the mission is, I have a lot of experience in this industry in sales and motivation and just people. And so from there, I use the things that I know and give a message that's catered to that group. And I've been fortunate enough to have enough success that people tend to invite me back. So I must be doing something right.
He's doing a lot right. A whole lot right. Man, this stuff is really inspiring. Just hearing you talk, just hearing how focused you are on the prize of what you're trying to do, which is helping people grow. And that's an awesome space to be in. It's almost like one of those jobs that it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, that's for me. It's not really work anymore. As a matter of fact, when I talk to my individual sales team, I talk to other sales teams. I just had a young lady right now, and she fulfilled her dream of buying a Mercedes. I always wanted to have a brand new Mercedes, and her peer had bought the BMW i8, whatever, when that first came out. And she just upgraded hers or whatever. So it's like, man, I really want to get this Mercedes. She's a family, has a family of 4. She has 4 children, and she drove to my house to show. She said, I'm coming to your house right now. I got to show you something. I said, okay, whatever. I was actually under the weather at the time, so come on. Look outside. There she is, man, in front of her brand new Mercedes.
Yeah,
took me on a ride. I had more fun riding the passenger seat of her Mercedes than me getting my own brand new whatever.
And you a car guy too, so I get it. It was more than the vehicle. I understand.
It's just the look on her face.
Yeah.
And so I'm at a place in my career right now where, I still like stuff.
Yeah.
I still enjoy my lifestyle and the things I'm able to provide for my family. But people say it sounds cliche, but I legitimately have more fun watching other people report back to me, hey, I'm using some of that stuff and this is what it's doing for my family. I have more fun with that than buying things for myself at this point in my career.
Man, that is awesome. That is the road traveled that gets you there quicker. You helping other people reach their goal. I love that, man.
It's fun,
man. That's what I'm talking about. If I wasn't doing radio, I'd be selling insurance right with you.
Come on, Reec.
Man, what would be the thing that you would go back if you could jump in that time machine, right? Jump in the back of that station wagon with young Hank, right? What would you tell young Hank? I guess before he starts to venture out into this world and, dabbing and getting his feet wet in his different business endeavors?
I would tell him stay spiritually grounded, because I did have a period where things got rocky.
We all did.
Got away from those core values, and I paid the cost.
That is. You're going to pay one way or another.
Pay one way or another. So I would definitely whisper that in his ear, like, stay grounded. But, I did learn from that experience, and there's value in that because, mistakes that I made, I won't repeat them. But I would definitely, I'd repeat that message to him and really everybody out there. Like, if you're on a path and it's grounded and it's spiritual and it's faith-based and it's based on truth, then stay on that path.
There you go. All right, man. We're gonna ask our fast 4 questions. So I know you travel a lot. This has nothing to do with business, but because of the business, you're able to do these things. If you could visit one country and eat in that country, which place would it be?
Oh boy, travel and eat. I would say Dubai. Only because I keep hearing about Dubai. It's one place I haven't been.
Yeah.
And that Middle Eastern food, I go down that road.
I got you. If you had a power 4 lineup of people you were bringing to talk to a stadium to motivate others, who would be in that lineup?
I'm actually a big Oprah fan.
Okay.
So I gotta go Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this any point in history?
Anybody? This is your list. You could be anybody.
Power lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go with the easy laydown of Jesus. That's a given.
Right. You don't need nobody else.
That's the layup.
Right.
But if we're going outside of that, see, I go Oprah. I would go, if I'm going any place in history, this is interesting. Should I go Martin or Malcolm? I don't know. No, I would go, I would say Oprah is a big one for me right now. I like, believe it or not, Zig Ziglar. He's an old school sales guru, but I kind of like his style. I would go with Magic Johnson because a lot of the things that he does business wise resonates with me. And my 4th power player, I'm really probably giving this too much thought right now because I'm gonna go cycling through people, but I would go with believe it or not, Steve Jobs. Yep, I would go if I could just grab anybody.
That's a very a diverse group, but it's a lot of success in that on that stage.
Well, you got to have the components. You got to have understanding of technology. You need motivation and media. So you got Oprah in there. You got Steve Jobs on the technology side, and I got to know how to sell stuff. So Zig is there for that course. I think that'd be a pretty powerful lineup.
That's what's up, man.
Can I throw myself on the stage too?
Absolutely.
I'll be there listening though.
There you go.
If they were there.
No, I mean, this is your lineup. You're headlining. They holding you up. That's what I'm saying. All right. So what is one thing that anybody that is not familiar with insurance, is thinking about insurance, should know or understand about insurance? At least one thing.
So if you're buying insurance, the number one thing you need to understand is that it's one of the most unselfish things that you're ever going to do. It's not for you. You know, people buy insurance backwards sometimes. Like, what's in it for me? What's in it for you is that your family's going to be taken care of. So that's from a purchasing standpoint. From a standpoint of selling insurance, you have to understand the same thing. All right, you're selling something that people are selfish many times, and you're selling something that is selfless. So it's going to take some time for you to understand how to articulate that message. But once you learn how to do it, and you allow yourself that time to understand your products, understand the mindset of your client, you can be very successful, because at the end of the day, we've got the power to take a person's little check and convert it to a big check. And that big check can have life-changing benefits for the family. Wow.
That's amazing. I really don't even want to ask this last question because you just killed that one so good. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway. If you could sit down with one person and have them motivate you or give you some tips, who would it be?
Oh, boy. I mean, really, it's my dad.
There you go.
At this point, honest, if I was being straight up with you, because he passed when he was 56. And so a lot of what I have accomplished, he never even had a chance to see. And that's just one thing. I like him to see what his son did with the information that he gave him. But if he could give me some more of those tips, I've tried to hold on to everything I could remember that he said, even as far back as I can go. But I'd love to get one more sit down with him.
That is, man. I love that. But you're giving that to your sons. We're going to hit the high bell on that. We appreciate your time, man. Thank you for coming through.
Hey, man, appreciate the invitation.
For sure. Tell everybody where to find you online so they can get motivated and start their journey.
All right. Well, there's a website. It's hankstewart.life. So don't confuse it with .com or .net. HANKSTEWART.life. And if you want to text me, my tech folks, they said, make sure you give this number. So let me pull it up here. And if you send a text to 904-867-4367, that'll get you plugged into our entire world. They'll start sending information to you, get you into our email list and all this other good stuff. So text me at 904-867-4367 or check me out at hankstewart.life.
Not the direct line. Y'all just got an exclusive line right there, and I hope you're happy. right, man. It's been the fastest 30 minutes of our life right there. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We're going to get back to this music. Once again, want to hit the hype bell for our guest. Gave us some great quotes, a lot of good information, and some motivation to jump on your next journey if you weren't already there, man. This is another episode of Reec Show Live in Media Campus West with Magic 107.5 97.5. We gone.